Hello friends, Chloe here. I'm going to be guiding you through a flow in yin class today. So we can begin in a child's pose, finding your knees as wide as it feels comfortable, toes to touch. Torso lengthening long, resting the forehead down onto the ground. Any props that you might like for your practice today, gather those up. Begin to fall into your breath, fall into the physical space of your mat, of your body, tuning into any mental chatter that is present for you here, and acknowledging whatever is present. And then consciously just allowing it to release, to be set aside for this time, softening the jaw, connecting to your Dirga Pranayama. Inhale, roll forward, rounding through the spine, coming to a high cobra, hips forward, heart lifts. Exhale, back to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, round forward, finding a tabletop position. Lifting head and tailbone, find your cow. Exhale, round to your cat. Inhale, lengthen up, cow. Exhale, round it back, cat. Good, one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale to your cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Hands can come forward to the shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips downward, facing dog. Pedaling the heels, swaying the hips. Again, lengthen your breath out here. Finding stillness in your dog. Inhale, round forward, plank. Exhale, hips back, hips lift, dog. Inhale, round it forward to your plank, tone your thighs, heels forward. Good, bend your knees, lift your sits bones, press the chest back, dog. Inhale, round it forward, plank. Exhale, hips back, dog. One more time. Inhale, come forward, plank. Bending the knees, hips back, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Finding the feet maybe about hip width apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can slide up the shins. Exhale, forward fold, release. Shaking it out here, you might bring your hands to opposite elbows or gently behind the head. Might shake the head yes and no. See here if as you breathe you can imagine tension melting from your shoulders, melting from the crown of the head, and releasing down to the ground. And release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Bending into your knees, forward, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to your plank. Bend your knees to the ground, shift your shoulders forward, chaturanga, bending halfway. Inhale, back bend of your choice, hips can be down into your cobra. Thighs can be lifted in your upward dog. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Piking the hips, really press into the ground. And Long breath here. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, grow long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, forward, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to your plank. You can leave the knees lifted or lower them. Inhale, plank. Exhale, shift it forward, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, foot in between the hands. Inhale, arms reach up, crescent. Settle in here, right hip back, engaging inner thighs. Inhale. Good. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Step back to your plank. Inhale. And exhale, make your way to your downward facing dog any way you want to get there. Maybe you just lift the hips. Maybe you hold that strong plank. Maybe you go through your modified knee down chaturanga. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, foot in between the hands. Inhale, reach it on up. Exhale, settle here. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Step back to your plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga in your way, moving to your downward facing dog. Again, tune in, notice the heartbeat, the breath, any other sensation in your body you're feeling, feel it here. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, look forward, step it to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, grow long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, pause. Take a few rounds of breath here. Listening to the beat of the heart. Listening to the breath. Tune in to your inner guides, your inner teacher, your intuition. Good. Slow and steady, arms come down. Palms reach up towards the sky. Big sun breath, gaze towards the fingers. Exhale, bend into your knees. Forward fold all the way down. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, big sun breath all the way up. Exhale, slow fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to your plank. Inhale, strong plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee behind the wrist, shin across the mat. Find your way to your pigeon. Might bring a block underneath your right hip. Can use your blocks to support your arms. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, release over the front leg. Softening the jaw as you release down. Find where the hip points are pretty even to the top of the mat. So here, we don't want to be rolling too far to one side, to the right. So use your props as you might need to. And we maybe soften the upper body down away from our ears. And here, finding a place where we can stay steady with sensation in the body, doing our best not to fidget, to remain just as we are here. The only thing that should encourage us to move would be pain. So discomfort is to be expected, but we don't ever work through pain. So breathing here, lengthening out your breath, drawing it as if you could breathe into where you feel sensation. Can use any props to support the head. Can you create a space in between the teeth, relaxing the jaw? Long, smooth breaths here. And that as we're here, we will find more sensation the longer that we're here. Noticing your edge, and if it's moved at all. There's no need to be any more or less than you are in this moment. Just allowing the breath to guide you into your shape, to support you while you're there, and to guide you back out. We have just a couple more rounds of breath here in this shape. And can we lengthen and draw those breaths out? Imagine that we could breathe into space, breathe into the exact place that we feel sensation in the body. Taking your time, there is no rush. We'll find your way to our hands. If you have any props, go ahead and remove them here. We'll roll to the right hip and gently drag your left leg all the way out in front of you. We'll take that right leg And we're going to stack it, finding shoelace. So still in the hips here. We're going to stack that right knee on top of the left. If you would like to place a block or a prop in between your legs, that's fine. If you want to take full Gomukhasana, you can bring your bottom heel in towards your right hip. And here, settle your sits bones down, bottom legs extended out in front of you. Inhale, find length. And exhale, maybe you fold forward. Here you can again set up to have a little support for your head. Boop. So here we're getting into outer hips, so we have this hamstring stretch going on in our bottom leg if the leg is extended out long in front of you. Get the extra weight of the top leg here to add a little bit more sensation. And if this is too much, you can find yourself into your full Gomukhasana. Can remain upright. So pay attention to where your edge is on this side in this shape today, because it will be different than every other time that you've come to this posture. Lengthen the breath. Maybe we soften that left leg. I know I have a tendency to find very active, shapes. It's all that power flow in vinyasa. But here, can we soften? There's no need to strive. There's no need to effort towards anything. Just allow yourself to be here. You have a few more rounds of breath here in this posture. From here, bring your hands to your sides and gently, slowly walk yourself upright. Move any props out to the side. Gently extend your right leg out long in front of you. You might lean back and take the legs side to side. And then sit upright and notice the difference in between your legs. Notice where in your legs you feel a difference. Soften any desire to create balance in your body here. Just holding yourself in this moment just as you are. We'll move to our pigeon on the other side. If you would love to come to that from your downward facing dog, you can move into your downward facing dog. Or maybe we bend our left knee across the mat, roll to the left hip, and gently walk your right leg back behind you, taking the kneecap down towards the ground. Adjust your stance if you need to. Good. So pigeon on your left-hand side. However you get there is how you get there. Can support yourself with blocks or props. Might pull that left hip back slightly. Find a little bit of lift through the low back. And exhale, release forward any amount. And tune into how this posture might feel different on this side. Where and how. And there's really no need to go beyond that. We don't need to attach stories or label it as good or bad. But just notice, just be present. using that information to move accordingly. So if we experience pain, we move back. Wherever we find sensation that is sustainable, that is our edge. And we stay there and we breathe and we linger. And allow gravity and time to work their magic as they will. Releasing tension where it might not serve you to hold on. Maybe that's in the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Just smoothing out the breath. Drawing it deep into the body. Staying with the breath, you have just a few more rounds here. One more round of breath. And then in your time, in your way, make your way to your hands. Remove any props you might need to remove. We'll roll to the left hip. Sweetly drag your leg around, extending it all the way forward. Left knee will come up and we'll stack the left knee across and on top of the right. Can find length through the spine, and you might remain upright or maybe fold it on forward. Deep rounds of breath here. Soften any clinging. Noticing that bottom leg. Tune into where along the back side of your leg do you feel a sensation? Maybe more in the hamstrings, maybe in the calf, maybe both. And just to gather information, not to judge or criticize. You have a few more rounds of breath here. One more deep round of breath. With the support of your hands, gently walk yourself upright. And sweetly uncross the leg. Send your leg out in front of you. You might lean back. Take the heels or the toes side to side. Settle your sits bones here. And if you'd like to sit up onto something, that's an option to help lift up out of the low back. You might also have a bend into your knees. Sits bones down, can reach the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. Lengthen your heart towards your toes. Exhale, fold over the legs, and as much as you can, release your legs here. We want to make sure that we're still having that anterior tilt to our pelvis. And we're not rounding through our low back. So you might bend your knees, resting the belly onto the thighs. As much as the legs can be straight, they're straight. And as much as you can relax here, relax. Allow the chin to come towards the chest. Yourself to fold into yourself again, any amount. So we find where we feel sensation and then we hang out and linger. So it doesn't have to be the deepest fold that you've ever had in your whole entire life. Just be where you can breathe easily, where you can hang out with sensation for some time. One more full round of breath here. Gently walk yourself upright, paying attention as you come out of your postures just as much as you were while in them. Bring your hands to your hips. Shift your hips forward, lower yourself down to the ground, and you might bring your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. Here you can place the feet down to the ground. You might bring your feet kind of wide from you, and then maybe allow the soles of the feet to come together, the knees to open up. If your blocks are handy and you can bring them underneath the knees for support, find that version, allowing the knees to become heavy into the blocks. The arms can rest down wherever it feels comfortable for you. Again, close your eyes or soften the gaze and return to your breath. Tune into what there is to notice here. Can remain here. Bring your hands to the outsides of your legs. Gently close the legs here. You might take a moment with the knees resting in on each other, the feet wide. As you're ready, Extend the legs out long, finding your way to your Shavasana. Using your props any way you might like to, creating a supported Shavasana for yourself here. And softening the gaze, or closing the eyes, and again return to your breath. And just holding space for yourself just as you are in this moment. Just watching the ebb and flow of your breath. You can remain here as long as it is available to you. This is where I will leave you in your Shavasana, hopefully for a good 10 minutes. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. May your mind and matter always be moving you forward towards peace. Peace, my friends.